Time for another stock review. This time we are talking Siyata Mobile, SYTA. If you're a member of my channel, you can get a review just like this from just $1. Absolutely. I'm here to help and support people. Remember, I only own the S&P. I'm not pumping and dumping stocks. I'm fully invested. All of my money, over 100 grand now, is in the S&P. I'm here 12 hours a day answering all your questions. This is a review of Siyata Mobile. In this review, we're going to take a deep dive at the stock, start nice and simple, and we're going to look at the intrinsic value. We're going to look at the balance sheet, the profit, the loss, who's buying, who's selling. We're going to take a further look here at the chart. If you want a full technical chart, join Sensei on his Sunday show on my channel, and he will do a full breakdown of the chart for you. Maybe you want the buy zone, the sell zone, support levels, resistance. He'll provide all of that. Join him on a Sunday show. Every Sunday, I'll give you the links below. We're going to cover the latest news. We're going to compare it to the S&P 500. All of that is coming up in this review. It also accompanies Meet the CEO series, where we invite CEOs onto the show who can talk and share their story to the world. So if you want to be part of that, I'll explain that as we go in the video. So first of all, tap the like button if you like the most honest, real, live, unedited, as it happens review. I'm reviewing it live for the first time, looking at it. No edits, nothing changed. This is exactly as I do it live, made during a live show. Smash the like button, and I'm here on my own, running it all. This is just real reaction. Okay, so let's start with Siyata Mobile. What is it? So let's start in a nice basic form and take a look at this. So here we go. This is Siyata Mobile. You can see it started here in 2020, and obviously it's had reverse splits because it wasn't $4,900 a share. That happens when a stock reverse splits. A reverse split is not a good thing. It's when the stock falls below $1 for a period of time. It has to then reverse split. 9 times out of 10, when a stock reverse splits, it ends badly. 9 times out of 10. It's not a good sign. A forward split is when a stock gets too expensive for options, and they want to encourage more people to buy using options and things like that. So they will do a forward split. That's a good thing. This is a negative thing. It was never $9,700 a share. Absolutely not. Today, we are 61 cents. Okay, what is the company? Siyata Mobile engages in the provision of cellular communication systems for enterprise customers. It specializes in connected vehicle products for professional fleets. So this is going to be a limited customer base, not a global base. Market under the Uniden, I beg your pardon, Uniden Cellular and Siyata brands. Show more. Yes, please, show us more. The firm operates through the following geographical segments: in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The company was founded by Marc Seelenfreund, I hope I pronounced that correctly, on October 15, 1986. And headquartered in Canada. So it's been around a long time. It's only recently, over the last few years, gone public. It's been around for quite a while. Okay, that's interesting. They obviously wanted to raise funds, and the company didn't explode when they went public. In fact, it went the other way. So far, not good news. The listed name for the company is SYTA, Siyata Mobile, headquartered in Quebec, 1986. There we go. If you're buying it on margin, it's 100%. That means it's very risky, as risky as it could be if you're borrowing money on margin to buy the stock. Market cap, 2.98 million. A very, very small company. However, that would suggest then that if my review is positive, or even if it's negative, I would imagine this stock will rank on our channel, probably number 1 if I do 1 or 2 videos. So that's interesting. Also, on top of that, if it's a bullish review, the stock can be moved. It's not my intention to do that. I'm not here to manipulate stock. I only own the S&P. What I am here to do is provide accurate information for my members. But when a stock is this small, definitely a million, 2.98, possibly we could move it. But anyway, let's go through it. Negative price to earnings ratio. The price to the earnings is negative. You're losing money. No dividend yield, obviously. Average volume, 4.94 million. Okay, it's got low volume. Today's volume is 447. Now, volume is important. High volume means the stock is actively traded. Low volume means it's very hard to sell a stock. Now, you might go, well, I can sell my stock straight away. You can, but it means the price has dropped potentially because there's no one buying. So that's what brings the price down, okay? So a low volume stock, you can end up getting stuck in. Just bear that in mind, at least for the price that you want to sell. Now, as we can see, the earnings is interesting. It was losing vast amounts of money, and it has improved. This is very, very good news. This is good news. So now the swingometer is moving a little bit more towards buying because we have rapidly increased our performance on earnings. Q3, we beat on expectations. Q4, we underperformed, but we seem to be trending upward. The next earnings for this is August the 12th. If one of my members does a super chat above $10, I will cover the earnings for this. If you want me to cover the earnings for it, it is after hours, if I'm able to, August the 12th. Let me look down my bookings. Have I got August the 12th available? August the 12th, potentially it would be done on our extra channel because it looks like we're doing Rumble on the main channel. On the extra channel, Sensei could cover this. If we get a $10 super chat, we'll cover the earnings for this. At the moment, we have a spot available. Earnings is very, very important. Who's buying the stock? That's a concern. Mullen. It's being bought by Mullen investors. These are very, very volatile investors. They're gamblers. They're buying a stock with no value whatsoever. That means there's volatility here. SNDL. This sector will explode with legalization, but we're not there yet. Very volatile. Camber Energy, very low level stock. Exceller Technologies, I'm not familiar with it. AMC, I haven't done a review for a while, so I can't comment. But we can see AMC, again, was the whole, there was a big, I can't remember the name of it now, but there was a big push online. I think it was Matt Kors, wasn't it? Matt Kors on Rumble was getting behind this stock, and it gets on Reddit and stuff. So the stock is very volatile. So far, it's not the sort of stock that I would want to touch. It's too limited on its audience who might want this. Financially, it hasn't performed well. It's obviously very volatile, which means you can trade the stock, but it's always trading down, so you can be very, very careful. But anyway, we don't know much about it yet. That's why we're going to carry on looking. So let's go into it. Tap the like button if you like this so far. Let's go. Now, we'll start off with looking at some latest news on the stock. Let's go over to this screen. You can see the volatility on the chart here. The candles get very, very big, very, very aggressive trading here. Straight away, that would scare me because it's not being invested in, it's being traded, and it's being traded downward. Let's look at the latest news on the stock. News like this is a concern. Again, this is manipulation. Remember, a lot of people that report on stocks are paid to do so. I do this for free. Yes, I get a super chat from a member, but I'm not paid by the company to do this or promote it in any way whatsoever. Why Siyata Mobile stock is exploding higher? You'd be a bit confused there, wouldn't you? You're looking at the stock thinking exploding higher. What on earth are we talking about? I mean, where is the exploding higher? Well, we're talking about that moment there, from 67 to 72. Yes, there's some movement there. However, that when you look at the bigger picture, it's a ripple on the ocean. Of course, it presents opportunity for scalp trading, but be very careful. We need to do more research. Let's read the news and what they tried to say over this. Siyata Mobile shares are trading higher by 4.5%. I wouldn't say exploding higher was 4.5%. I've had days on the S&P that can do that without the fear of it all going to zero. During Thursday's session, this was yesterday, after the company announced new orders for its SD7 handsets and related accessories valued at more than 4.5 million. Now, 4.5 million is very significant when we know that the company's only worth, what was it? 2.72. That's the market cap. But let's remember, 4.5 million is the order. They might make $1 million profit. We'll find out what the margins are in a minute. That's what's important, not how much value the order is. It's how much the profit is. We'll come on to that in a minute. CEO Marc Seelenfreund expects record sales. Now, Marc, we'd love to welcome you onto the show. If you'd like to be on our show, we have a Meet the CEO series. I never sell my services. I never contact you or anything like that. It's done through my investors, your investors, people that buy your stock. So if you want to get Marc on the show, email customer relations, investor relations on their website. Tell them about you're an investor. Tell them about you love their company. You've obviously bought it and would love to see them on the show. We can rank them on YouTube. The world can learn about their stock and do that. Get a relationship with them. When they reply to you, then you can pass them on to me or copy me in at martyn@martynlucas.com and we'll get them on the show and they will certainly get their voice to the world. Marc expects record sales in third quarter of 2024. Citing strong distribution channels and increasing adoption of the SD7 handset through relationships with leading US carriers and their distributors. We'll look at the product in a minute, bear with me. The company has also appointed TJ Kennedy to its advisory board. Kennedy, the former president of FirstNet, brings extensive expertise in public safety broadband networks. Marc Seelenfreund, Siyata's CEO, highlighted that Kennedy's industry knowledge will success will aid Siyata in strategic thinking, operational execution, and sales strategy, enhancing their presence in the public safety market. Okay, good news, but we'll look at the margins in a minute. You could think that was a good opportunity then. So why is the stock down today? Well, people traded on the news of it. Let's look at the actual fundamentals of it in a few moments. All right, we'll come on to that. Right. We've also got this news. This was just a couple of weeks ago. Siyata announces pricing of approximately 6 million public offering of common shares and pre-funded warrants. Now, of course, this is raising more money. This isn't good. This is why the stock has been trending down recently. And then we got the announcement of the potential sales. So stocks, there's more shares to be issued here. That's not good. That's called dilution. That means that's why the stocks have gone down. And that's the latest news there. We're not going to, well, we can compare it to the S&P, of course, but there's really no point here. If in 2021 you put $10,000 in the S&P, you're now worth 15 grand. $10,000 in this company is now worth $1. Serious amounts of losses if you invested just a couple of years ago. Those that bought at the time won't be too happy, will they? There's no macro conditions. There's no COVID play. There's nothing like that. There's just all-out price destruction. Let's now look at the numbers and see if this business can make sense. So far, I didn't show you the website, did I? Is the website. The new way, the two-way, a B2B, so business to business, global developer and vendor of next generation push-to-talk. So it's like a little walkie-talkie. Do we need this? Is there a need for this? Over cellular handsets and accessories. Our portfolio of rugged PTT, push-to-talk handsets and accessories enables responders and enterprise workers to instantly communicate over a nationwide cellular network of choice to increase situational awareness and save lives. So essentially, what we've got here is a walkie-talkie radio system that is using cellular services. So if you've got a walkie-talkie and you want to go, hey, hello, come on in, emergency, whatever, like the police, like like emergency services, you've got to be in a certain range and so on and so forth. You're using cellular towers to be able to do that. I can see the need for that. I can see a use case for that. I think that sounds pretty cool. If I instantly wanted to, if my wife had one of those and I have one of those and I press the button, straight away, instantly, I'm speaking. I don't dial her, I don't text her, I'm speaking instantly. You could argue, you could just phone someone. The point is, a radio, when you broadcast, everyone can hear that. So let's say I had a team of people working and I went, hello, everyone hears me instantly. It's an instant call, I like that. I think that's a useful tool. And using the cellular network, I like that rather than just radio. I like that. I'd buy one myself. I think it's pretty cool. If the company want to give me one, I would love to have one of those. I think that would be great. I can see a need for that. Right. Let me now go and look at the business. If you're liking this so far, please tap the like button and consider subscribing. Now then, it says here we're undervalued by 100%. That's the highest you can go to. Apparently it's worth 181. Don't take that as read. It doesn't have a meaningful market cap. There's not enough information here. We saw this for Fisker. Fisker was worth $400. It went bust. People will look at that and think, brilliant, $181 intrinsic value. There's not enough information to use that as a guide. Now then, this is where it gets interesting. So far, I wasn't that interested. Now I like the product and I would buy one myself. I was thinking it was, well, it is enterprise really. However, a family, but I mean, you'd use a phone for that. But working environment, for me in a theatre with 20 staff running around a theatre or people working on a building site, straight message, everybody, I like it. I think it's good. You could use a radio for that, but I could see the limits to a radio. Anyway, revenue, March 24, 8.8 million, up 7%. Great. We have a potential S-curve. We don't see that very often. Is it a new technology, a new way of doing things? I like it. We have a potential S-curve. I like it. I would buy one of these. Operating income, up 13%. Now, again, this is only estimates, but we're expecting a massive S-curve rally in the future. And we are up 13%. It's been devalued. It's raised funds. Already done that. You wouldn't have wanted to buy it a few years ago, but maybe now. Net income, up 16%. Financing cash flow, down 23%. Investing cash flow, negative 27%. That's good. That's a positive. That's one of the higher numbers. Operating cash flow up 24%. That's good. Balance sheet. How much money have they got? 14.3 million. So they have assets of 14.3 million, but we are a market cap of 2.7 million. There's $500,000 in cash. So on paper, we are undervalued. 7.3 million in liabilities. We've got long-term debt of only $300,000. Short-term debt, $500,000. So we don't have massive amounts of debt, which is good and bad. Good because we don't have a lot of debt compared to our assets and our cash. But interest rates coming down isn't going to help us. It'll help us a bit, obviously, and they can borrow more money and might be able to get more capital and so on and so forth. But that's interesting. That order they've got, if we see the margins in a moment, is good. They could pay them. They could earn enough money to clear their debts. So that's good. All right, there's the pie chart. Let's look at the margins. Gross margin, 34%. The gross margin is 34%. But we're interested in the net margin, right? That's when they sell the product, they make a 34% profit. That's what the gross margin is. But the net margin is after running expenses, what they really make. Well, the net margin is negative at the moment. FCF margin is negative, 91%. ROCE down 99%, ROIC down 89%, and ROA down 72%. ROE is down 112%. Profitability 29. Could have been a lot lower than that. That could increase shortly. Solvency. They're not going bust. Decent solvency, 48. It's only a couple of points away from a green. It's not red. Amber's turning green. Solvency, they're not going bust. They've got a bit of cash. Debts aren't out of control. They've raised some money. It's looking all right. If the next earnings is good and they can solidify this order, they could do all right. What about the Wall Street targets? None available. No one's really paying attention to it. That can be good, can be bad as well, but it could be good. No one's paying attention. There are no analysts, Wall Street analysts have done targets for this. There's nothing. I could see the potential in this. There's the competition. If you are using my software, all my members can use the software for free, limited, or if you become a member of my channel, you can use, you get a discount, and it'll basically make my membership for free. Highly recommend you use it like that. That's how I use it. I think it's great. Great software. Probably the best software out there for doing this sort of thing. What about short interest? Percent of shorts of shares shorted, 10.9%. So there's not enough for a short squeeze, but there's not massive amounts of shorts either. That could you're not going to get a short squeeze with that number. Plus, you need the volume. But there's obviously negativity towards it, which is bringing the stock down. People are betting against it. So this stock could rally quite easily with a bit of good news. People just give up. There's no other sentiment than that. There's no inside selling, no inside buying, nothing like that. Interesting stock, this one. So what are my thoughts on it? Well, let's give my final thoughts on this stock. Is this a buy, a sell from me, or whatever? After reading into it, I like the idea of a radio that is on cellular. I can see the use for that. I could see how that could expand. I would need to know if they've got patents and patents on this, and that's why we want the CEO on the show. Someone could arrange that. It'd be great to have them on the show. Learn more about their protection of the business. They have got some great expectations. Wall Street is not paying any attention to it. It's not getting any attention on YouTube or online. No one knows about this stock. I'm sure we will do very well on this one and could get a lot of attention, and the company could benefit greatly by being on the show. They're not going bust. They've already diluted. They've already raised funds. They've got new customers coming in. This is a potential buy. Again, I don't buy individual stocks because that would make me impartial and biased toward the stock, and I don't do that. I only own the S&P. However, I can see some potential for this one. I would like further investigation, get the CEO on the show, and keep my eye on it. There you go. If we get any news, if you are a follower of this stock, send it in links for YouTube. We want 2 or 3 more videos, and we'll rank #1 in the world for it. And we could be the spokespeople for Siyata Mobile. So I need some news. If you are an investor and you see news on it, let me know, and I'll post it and I'll make videos on it. If you want me to cover the earnings, I will. There you go. A potential buy, room for further investigation. Click above my head for Alpha Spread, all the links, martynlucas.com. You scroll down, martynlucas.com, all links, and you'll find the link to Alpha Spread. I'll also put it below. I will also create a playlist for this company now, and you can follow latest news and so on and so forth. Over here, I'll put my full Alpha Spread playlist. Down here, I'll put the playlist for Siyata Mobile. There we go. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.